Hello my dear children, today we are going to take another topic of physiology, that is transportation. Now children, let me introduce this topic. All living bodies, they need nutrients and oxygen in every cell of its various tissues to sustain life. So nutrients and oxygen are required for every living being, nutrients and oxygen. Now the transport of different materials and gases is essential both in plants as well as animals. Unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium, they do not require for transport of any material. Amoeba and paramecium, they do not require the transport of any material. No transportation is required, as these are in direct contact with their surroundings from where they obtain these nutrients. But in case of multicellular organisms like higher plants and animals, they require a means of transport so that the nutrients and oxygen, they are transported and reach to each and every cell of your body. Now, these substances are the substances which are present in the amoeba and paramecium. They are distributed in the cytoplasm due to streaming movements of cytoplasm called as cyclosis. So paramecium and amoeba, they are not having a well developed transport system. So there is a movement that is called as a streaming movement. Due to this streaming movement, whatever materials are there, they are distributed in various parts of this single celled organism. Now these substances are distributed by a streaming movement, and that streaming movement can be called as, this is called as a cyclosis. Now the exchange of gases from the external environment directly by the diffusion due to difference in the concentration in and outside their body. In higher organisms, both plants and animals, digested food, oxygen, hormones, waste, nitrogenous substances, etc. are to be carried from one phase to other. So transportation of materials is essential. It is done through a well-developed system, and that is called as a circulatory system. Now let us first talk about the transportation in higher plants. Then we'll switch on to the animal part. Actually, the higher plants have a specialized system for the transportation of materials inside the body. This system is called as a vascular system or vascular tissues of the plants. Now, vascular tissue consists of two things, that is xylem and phloem. It consists of two things. Vascular tissue consists of two things, that is xylem as well as phloem. Now, xylem consists of four types of cells. These are xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem sclerenchyma. On the other hand, phloem also consists of four types of cells, and these are as follows: sieve tube cells or sieve tubes we can say, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem sclerenchyma. Now, the main function of xylem is transportation of water and minerals. Transportation of water and minerals. On the other hand, the main function of phloem is transportation of food. Now, this transportation of water and minerals is also called as ascent of sap. This can also be called as a ascent of sap. Now, let me make you clear about the differences in the functioning of xylem and phloem. So, these differences are as follows: xylem and phloem. Now, first point of difference is xylem parenchyma is the only living. It is the only living component, and remaining cells are dead. Remaining cells are dead. On the other hand, phloem sclerenchyma here is only dead. Phloem sclerenchyma is only dead, while remaining all cells are living. Remaining are living. Now, the second point of difference is it carries minerals, salts and water. It carries minerals, salts and water. On the other hand, phloem, through phloem, an organic solution of sugars is transported. Organic solution of sugars are carried. Third point of difference is in the xylem, the movement of water, salts, etc., that is only in the upward direction. Movement is only in upward direction. On the other hand, in case of phloem, the movement can be upward. It can be upward or it can be downward. Now, next is translocation. There is a term that is called as translocation. Now, phloem translocates the manufactured food from leaves to the different parts of the plant in the form of sucrose only, and that is called as a translocation, that is transportation of manufactured food. Transportation of manufactured food is called as translocation. There is one more term that is called as transpiration. Now, most of the water absorbed is lost through the aerial parts of plant into air by a process that is called as transpiration. That is, what is transpiration now? It is the loss of water through aerial parts of the plant. Only 2% of the total water absorbed is used in various metabolic activities in the plant body. Transpiration is the loss of water from the living tissues of aerial parts of plants in the form of water vapors. Now, this transportation or this loss is especially in the form of water vapor. Now, transpiration process can be categorized into three categories. Transpiration process can be categorized into three categories. It can be cuticular transpiration, cuticular. It can be lenticular, and it can be stomatal transpiration. Now, regarding cuticular transpiration, this is done with the help of cuticle, which is the outer waxy coating of the plant, and around 3 to 9% of total transpiration is done by cuticle only. Now, next is lenticular transpiration. This occurs through the small minute pores which are present in the hard woody stem. They are called as the lenticles. Through lenticles, around 0.1% of total transpiration is done, and the maximum transpiration is done through stomata, which is called as a stomatal transpiration. Now this constitutes around 80 to 90% of total transpiration. Now these were the various types of transpiration. Now let me discuss something about the importance of transpiration. Why it is important? Importance, or we can also say significance of the transpiration. The first and foremost importance is it helps in the absorption of water, helps in the absorption of water and minerals. Second important significance is it regulates the temperature of the plant. Regulates the temperature of the plant. And next is it mostly absorbs water by the root is lost by transpiration without serving any purpose. So it is also called as a necessary evil. Now children, you will say why it is called as a necessary evil. Necessary means most required and evil means bad. Why it is most required and bad also? This is called as a necessary evil because mostly if the water absorbed by roots is lost by the transpiration without serving any purpose. Now the energy spent by the plants in transpiration is wasted. It is going waste because most of the water is not serving. So that is why it is called as a necessary evil, because it is utilizing lot of plants' energy in just transportation from the lower parts of the plant to the upper parts. So this was all about the transpiration, children. In the next lecture, we'll discuss about the transpiration cohesion theory, which will describe how the water and minerals are getting transported from lower parts of the plant to the upper parts against the gravity. Okay children, thank you.